Hello everyone. Welcome to Story Recaps. Today I am going to explain a 2020 fantasy drama film, The Witches. I hope you like it. Story starts and the narrator tells his own story to kids. This is year 1968. There is a little kid at the start of the film, who was in an orphanage because his parents died in a car accident recently. He had started to lead a sorrowful life. So he comes to his grandmother. His name was Charlie. But he used to be in pathos because of missing his parents. His mother was very affectionate and kind-hearted. She used to take excellent care of Charlie. But, now he was not happy here. So his grandmother decided to bring a pet for him. So he can play with it and befriend it. Share his secrets with it. Within a few days, his grandmother gave him a mouse. Charlie was very excited, having that rat. He used to spend most of his time with it. He used to say his grandmother that mice lead their life enjoyably. They jump and continue to play in their cages. He decided to name her Daisy. One day Charlie and his grandmother were dancing inside their house. A witch is staring at her from outside. That witch's sight was weird. Grandmother's condition also begins to worsen along with it. But, she recovers after some time. Next day, they went to a store to buy some groceries. A lady approaches Charlie as he goes a little far from his grandmother. She was a witch in reality. She offers chocolates to Charlie. She was the same witch who was staring at their house on that day. She says to Charlie, "Dear child, come here." She was bewitching him. That witch also had a mysterious snake. Meanwhile, his grandmother calls him. Seeing him, Charlie begins to run towards her. And that witch hurriedly disappears from there. When they came back home, Charlie tells his grandmother, "That woman was talking to me mysteriously in the store. She was forcefully giving me chocolate. And she was saying, 'Listen to me.' She also had a snake." So his grandmother says to him, "My son, she was a witch. Why do we forbid you to not eat anything from strangers? It is quite possible as someone has drugged it. Above all, why will the thing be taken to eat if she was a witch? She will surely be alluring to you. I will tell you the tale of my childhood. I was 10 years old. I also have a friend. We were going somewhere. Suddenly, my friend vanished from there while walking. A strange lady was offering her a chocolate when I glimpsed her. She was a witch. It is better to say that she was the leader of witches. So I left that place, taking my friend. Next day, when my mother was making my hair tail, I witnessed before my eyes that my friend transformed into a chicken. It means that the witch had cursed her. It is also possible that there was something in that chocolate which she ate. So I keep away from the witches from my childhood. Next time, keep away from them and do not take anything. Inform me as someone comes to you." She also tells him that our house has come into the eyes of the witches. "My son, we need to leave this place." And she attacks the lower class people first. There was a hotel going ahead of their house. Grandmother's cousin who was an executive chef of that hotel. And he had intimacy with the hotel manager and he manages to reserve a small room for her. Hotel manager was also a good man. Grandmother and Charlie shift into that hotel. They can go anywhere they wish. But a strange happenings occurs. At first sight, many witches enter that hotel. Because they had their gathering and a marvelous dinner after this. All witches were so modish. They say to him, "You know who we are. So arrange a hall for our gathering." Actually, it is their plan that they will abduct all children. And we will offer them the chocolate, containing the magic formula. Eating them, all kids will be turned into animals. Because kids are very ill-mannered according to them. Now it is the night time and Charlie is talking with his grandmother. It is raining outside. Charlie asks, "Grandmother, what do witches look like?" His grandmother says that their fingers are longer. Their nails are filthy. This is because they put on gloves. They are bald so they use wigs or big hats. Hearing these facts, Charlie was very frightening. Because the storm had also broken out. Now the morning time comes. Charlie was bored. So he goes to the grand hall and takes his mouse to play with. But suddenly, all witches approach there for gathering. Feeling fear, Charlie hides himself there. Grand High Witch begins to sniff him. But she finds him nowhere. So she starts her meeting. Now all witches were seated on the chairs. And there was a Grand High Witch before them. She shows them a potion and calls it a magic formula. And tells them, if you will pour a single drop of it into the candy or chocolate, that candy will transform the kids into animals quickly. She begins to talk about it in more detail. Then she smells Charlie again. She begins to sniff the stage. At this time, her nose and face were looking disgusting and ridiculous. At last she was the Grand High Witch. So she throws the stage aside, lifting it. But there is no one under the stage. But there was a ventilator window behind it, where she encounters Charlie. She was about to catch him, but then a bulky kid arrives there who was the son of any guest there. All witches captures him. He was fond of eating. And they offer him the same chocolate laced with that potion by them. That child is transformed into a little mouse, eating that chocolate. Now witches themselves begin to feel fear, seeing that mouse. And they are about to crush that mouse under their heeled shoes. Suddenly Charlie's mouse came out from the ventilator window to rescue that healthy kid mouse. Daisy takes him back to Charlie, where he was hiding. But now he was got caught by the Grand High Witch. She grabs him and takes him out to the center. Then they apply a single drop of that magical liquid into his ear. Consequently, Charlie is also turned into a mouse. Now the mice of the bulky child and Charlie immediately run from there. There is also the pet mouse of Charlie along with them. Then it is revealed, she was a little girl, which had also transformed into a mouse, offering her chocolate. 3 of them create a good bond of friendship. And they say, we will surely take revenge from these witches. Charlie immediately moves to his grandmother and he tells her, witches had transformed us into the mice, my grandmother. She says, hell with these witches. They turn my kids into mice. I will take revenge from them. Now Charlie tells his grandmother. The interesting fact is this, that the room where these witches are residing, its terrace is visible from our room terrace. Then grandmother hits upon a plan and she says, I am knitting a sock, I will descend you, putting into it. You can steal her magical liquid and I'll pull you back up again. And I will reform you. So she does the same and puts her grandson Charlie into that sock, then she begins to descend. Charlie is scared of that witch but she is not there. Lifting that potion, Charlie comes back into the sock. That witch glimpses it as his grandmother is pulling up that sock. And she catches the sock firmly. Then Charlie's grandmother says, leave it. When I was knitting this sock, it dropped down by me. So I am pulling it upward again. Then she is about to check the sock. Meanwhile, the manager approaches there so she leaves the sock. Now grandmother had got that potion upstairs. She poured the liquid into the plate and tried to reverse the effect of the potion. But nothing happened. That magical liquid was very powerful. And that potion could transform the human into animal, not the animal into the human beings. Charlie says, grandmother, we cannot be recovered. But we should stop them turning more kids into animals. We have to pour this potion into the soup of witches which they are going to take. Grandmother says, wow kids. What a fantastic idea you have revealed. Then she moves to that kitchen, taking these 3 of the mice into her bag, where the soup of witches is being prepared. Charlie went inside the kitchen and infused that potion into it. Then the hotel manager encountered the grandmother. He asks, are these mice yours? They should not be taken into the kitchen if these are your pets. The manager does not find the mice anywhere. So he feels embarrassed. Then grandmother says, I will complain against you. The manager apologized and told his staff to show the finest table for grandmother. Then at dinner time, all the witches approached the hall. Those witches had prepared that soup only for themselves. It was the same soup which has potion in it and it will turn them into animals. At the first sight, all witches are transformed into mice as they take soup. Grandmother is feeling pleasure, witnessing them. All the hotel staff are shocked after seeing this. Grandmother herself and all the hotel workers begin to kill mice. But the bad luck was this, Grand High Witch had not yet tasted the soup. As a result, she does not turn into the dough. All 3 mice and grandmother check the Grand High Witch room to find a reverse potion. But, Grand Witch appear there and tries to kill grandmother. All 3 of the mice set a trap and trick the witch's finger into the trap. So that witch begins to shout, so they instantly pour that potion into her mouth. Now she had also transferred into a dough bigger than other mice. They bind her into a glass cup. The grandmother then keeps the cat in front of the witch's cage. And who knows, that cat may eat or kill that mouse while attacking it. Now grandmother is very excited, putting 3 of the mice into her bag. She comes out of that hotel. Because she had no threat of the witches now. It is seen outside that the bulky kid's parents are very worried. But his mother was very indecent. And when her son is talking in the mouse voice, I'm not going to take it. That mouse also says, all right. I got my friends. I am thankful to get rid of them. Now grandmother brings 3 of the mice along with her, and she offers them food. 3 of the mice were happy from their life and new friends. And grandmother used to take care of them. The interesting fact was this, 3 of those mice never wanted to turn into human beings. They used to run, jump, play and enjoy themselves. And grandmother used to feel contentment, seeing them. The movie completes here with an upbeat ending. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more such movies explanation. And hit the like button to support our work. See you next time.